Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the live stream. Tonight we're going to be carrying on with the development of the open source JavaScript platformer, shooter, adventure, RPG thing that we've been working on since January, named No Place Like. Specifically, tonight we're going to be finishing off our new type of character enemy and creating new stuff as we go along. After we get through that, it's just all about tackling those GitHub issues. So, join me on this adventure, if you will, and we're going to dive right into it in T-1 coffee sip. Alright, let's get at it. Welcome to my world, welcome to my screen. We're looking at the issues page for No Place Like, and first thing I'm going to do is open up the issue for creating a new type of small enemy. This is Dream Up Draw and Code, a new small enemy, and yeah, well, we've got quite a lot done on this already, actually. So if I head on over to my games directory on my machine, right, that wouldn't. That's not going to work at all. Let's try cd, not npm, and run npm run start to boot up my dev server. Give that just a second, and we will have dun 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 dun. There we go. Now we have the game running. The only error that we have popping up right now is just it complaining about a favicon. That's not a huge deal. And we're logging something as well. Looks just like a residual debugging from the previous session. Anyways, this is our new enemy right here, and we don't want him to be floating up continuously into space. We do want him to be climbing whatever's like attached to whatever surface he's on. So whether that's the ground, the wall, or the roof, we want him to come towards our character, but be attached to the wall or the roof or whatever surface that he wants to be climbing on. And then if we eventually, when we touch him, or if we touch him, we're going to have him explode into a million pieces and do huge amounts of damage. So let's get into the code, shall we? And already we've got our rotator bot file opened up, which is our new enemy, which is what we want. And you can see we're logging blocks.none. So this is telling us that he's not blocked by anything, which in this case is true because he's just floating up into space. Let's see what it says when he's touching the ground. See how it's true. Now it's false, he's touching the ground. But now, suspiciously, it's true despite the fact that he should be touching a wall. So that tells me that we're not setting his x velocity correctly. Or we might be setting it correctly in some circumstances, like when he's touching the ground, like right here when blocked.none is true. So what I'm thinking is we're going to remove this x velocity, actually remove it from both places here, the x velocity there, x velocity here, and we're just going to have that living outside of this if blocks.none condition. So right now we'll just put it right here. We'll say this dot, oopsie daisies, dot body dot set velocity x, that says y, but we'll change it to x, and we'll set it to this dot speed, which is supposedly a constant that we've set up here to configure our character, our baddie character. So now he's probably still going to float up indefinitely. Oh. I see why I had that in a condition before now. Okay. I had that in a condition before to prevent him from constantly moving towards us even when he's falling down. So that is kind of a problem. We do need it. Interesting. Okay, so that's why. Alrighty. Let's put our debugging hats on and figure this out, shall we? So I'm just going to write a little reminder of the intended logic right here. Intended logic slash functionality. So let's move this up to the top so it's right up and easy for us to read constantly. we'll say rotator bot should fall while falling. The bot shouldn't move on the X axis. And then when touching the ground or ceiling, rotator bot should move towards the player, the MC, main character. When touching the walls, left or right, rotator bot should move again towards the MC, but we'll say on this time Y axis, and on this time it will be X axis. Right, so that's what we want to happen. I'm just gonna ditch this right now because it's not really working, and ditch all this old commented goat code because that probably was a little bit closer, but it's still not quite what we want. So, alright, so let's take a look at this piece by piece, shall we? So the rotator bot should fall, and while he's falling, he shouldn't move on the x-axis. That tells us that we can't constantly be setting his x velocity like I was trying to just then. We have to set his x velocity when he's blocked either by the top, on the top, or the bottom. So we'll say exactly that. We'll say if blocked dot up or blocked dot down. For now, we're not going to worry about moving him towards the character. We'll deal with that in a minute. For now, we're just going to have him move, period. So we'll say set velocity x to this dot speed. Let's just test that one little chunk out for now. So he should, in theory, fall to the ground without moving, like he is, and then move towards us. Or not towards us, but just he's going to move to the right, as he did. So that's perfect. It's hard to test the blocked up position until we get the climbing logic working, but we'll work that out momentarily. So, to get the climbing logic, we need a little bit more code. So for that, we're going to say, so here we go. We've got that working. Now let's say, when touching the ground or ceiling, the robot should move towards, oh, actually we've got that working in theory too. So now we just need, when touching the walls, left or right, the rotator bot should move towards the MC on the y-axis. So we'll say if, we'll start it off by saying this and we'll debug from there, blocked.left or blocked.right, this dot body dot set velocity y to, at first, climbing. So let's say this dot speed but negative. See what this does. Alright, so this puts him into like a little bit of a jumping up and down loop, which isn't quite what we want. And you can see he's oscillating between true and false pretty evenly across the board. Sorta. But he's oscillating between true and false for whether or not he's blocked by something. So that's kind of interesting feedback for us. So we could say from this, one thing that I think needs to happen is that we just need him to be moving, period, whether he's blocked at all, or if he's blocked by any direction. So for that, we'll say if he's not blocked.none, set velocity x to the speed. See what that does. And like that, oh, he was climbing for a moment. He seems to be fighting something, and I think that something that he's fighting is gravity. So for that, we're going to say this dot body dot set allow gravity false when he's blocked on the left or right sides. Oh, he managed to climb up, actually. That's interesting. Alright, so now he's climbing. That's good. But what happens when he gets to the top? Does he just keep floating? Yes, he does. So that's the same problem we were encountering before. And, why is that happening now, I wonder? Apparently he's not blocked by anything, which means he's not going to enter this condition, because that's checking if block.none is false. And he's not going to enter either of these conditions either, or he shouldn't. So I guess we could put an else statement here and say this.body.set allow gravity back to true, for one thing. And I guess we don't need to change his y velocity at this point, right? It would stand to reason. So, see what happens. Does he climb up and, oh, no, okay, he's kind of oscillating again. He seems to make it a little further sometimes than other times, though, which is kind of curious. But again, yeah, so, oh, he made it up to the top. All right. And then he dropped off like a bag of bricks when we shot him. But anyways, let's watch the console here. Let's reload this and watch the console to see what blocked.none is saying. That means it's true when he's not touching anything, or it should be true when he's not touching anything, and it should be false when he's touching something. So let's see what it says. So it's true, we're all falling, it's true. Now it's false, he's touching the ground. Now it's jumping back and forth between true and false. So for some reason, it must be when he leaves the ground, it must set itself to false, which is not really what we want, because we want him in theory to be touching this wall. But what I think might be happening is that we're not applying constant velocity to keep pushing the wall, because the minute we touch the wall, I think it's pushing us back, and that might be what's causing problems for us. So we need a way of setting the x velocity such that it continues to set the x velocity, although okay, this is interesting. Okay, new theory, new plan, new idea. We can try saying if he's blocked from the left, right, or the top, then that's when we disable gravity. Otherwise, we re-enable it. Right? That makes sense. Kinda. And if he's ever not blocked, we set the x velocity, which I think should remain true. That sounds right to me. I'm wondering if blocked is not actually the method, the property we want in this case. I'm gonna take a look at a different property that I know lives within the body, which I think is touching. Let's take a look at what's inside that. Or better yet, let's just do this one time. We'll comment that out, and we'll say console.log this.body. There he is, body. So what we're looking for is like touching or something. Was touching and touching, okay. Oh, that's interesting. It works. He climbed. What happens now? Does he fall? I'm gonna follow him around and see what if he keeps working. So in theory, he should just bounce down here, or fall down here. Let's see. I'm curious to see what happens when he gets to this pillar right here. Will he climb? That is the question. That is the million-dollar question. So again, it looks like he's struggling to climb, and he must just be... He's fighting something. Okay, but I was right about touching, so let's see what is going on in our touching.none right here, because touching has all the same properties as blocked, and I don't fully understand the difference between them. So he's not touching anything, apparently. Interesting. Okay, so that doesn't look to be what we're looking for. Guess not touching. So touching was a false lead. Let's ignore that. Let's just keep watching the blocked.none. I'm sure the answer lies somewhere in here. Because yeah, it's bouncing back and forth between... So what about block.right? Let's see what's happening in there. So false, good. Still false, good. Now true, but it bounces back to false. Which is odd. Not what I was expecting. So... I think we're going to clear out this logic again. And there's an error when he hits us, but that's just because it's looking for a function that doesn't exist, because that's part of the jumper bot class, and we must just be referencing that in the wrong place. But he should fall. So I think what I was doing before is I was setting constants for his x and y velocity, or not constants actually, sorry, not the opposite of constants, whatever that's called, I don't know. Inconstants? I don't know. That sounds like when people have trouble with going to the bathroom. I don't think that's the right word. Anyways. I think what I was doing was... Let's see. I'm just going to dig into it a little bit and stop narrating what I'm doing until I have something that works. Let's do that. So let's say... Or no, this dot. We want blocked dot down or blocked dot up. Now we assign that. Not else if, actually. We want just another if. Blocked dot left or Oh, hold on, here's a thought. We might be able to optimize this a little later, but if it's blocked on the left and, or actually blocked on the left or blocked on the right, so if it's either of those things and blocked dot down, then we set the y velocity to this dot, or negative this dot speed. That sort of makes sense, because we're saying if it's blocked on the left or right and it's blocked on the bottom, which means if it's touching the ground and it hits a wall, left or right, then we start going up. That makes sense. Now we'll say else if blocked dot left again or blocked dot right and blocked dot up, then we'll say this dot y vel equals this dot speed. You know what else I just realized is that we only need gravity. No, that's not right. We do need gravity enabled at certain times. We need to figure out what those times are. I guess. Actually, I think we'll do that further down. What we'll do is we'll say this dot xvel is not equal 0. This dot set velocity, not damage or kill, what the hell? This dot set velocity x is this dot xvel. Else this dot set velocity x to 0. Now that looks a little funny for the x velocity, but it'll make more sense on the y velocity, I think. Because anytime we have a y velocity that we've set ourselves, we also want to, I just realized we need body in all of these. We need this dot body for the physics body. Body dot. And also body dot set allow gravity false. I guess we need an else statement here that resets the y velocity to 0. So if neither of these conditions are matched, basically if we're not climbing up a wall, this y velocity is just going to be 0. But then that's not going to work because let's leave that out for now and just see what happens without it. I think the real trick here is figuring out when we have to enable and disable gravity. I think that's really the part that's going to be the hardest here. Because really these if statements are a little bit redundant. We don't actually need the one for the x velocity at all. We could just simply go like this, because when x velocity is 0, it'll be set to 0. So we don't need that. We can cut that out totally. And we could even cut that out and set that there and have a ternary, not a ternary, but a whatever it's called expression inside the set allow gravity. We'll say this dot yvel does not equal 0. Right, so that means anytime we're setting the y velocity with intent, i.e. we're setting it in either of these statements, then we'll disable gravity. Let's see what this ends up with, what this all does. So right away we can see it disabled gravity right from the start because, yeah. Oh, so I guess this should actually be y velocity equals 0, because if that's true, no. This is tricky. Still does not equal, but I guess maybe... Welcome viewers, by the way. Thanks for joining us. We're trying to get a robot to climb up walls and along ceilings and just generally move around the map and only fall when he goes... I'm just wondering, maybe he should never fall. Maybe the only time he should fall is initially right at the start when we're initializing everything. Hey, Emmanuebs, what's up? How are you? Good. I'm back. I'm good, man. And you're back, dude. I'm glad to hear you're back. That's awesome, dude. Glad to have you on board. How have you been? Yeah, so it's all about this gravity. We need to figure out when gravity is true, what should be allowed and when it shouldn't be. Lots of projects need to finish, man. Yeah, dude, I feel that. Yeah, it makes sense. And so happy we did it. You did it. Nice, man. That's sick. That's really cool, man. That's a feeling that I'm a little envious of, I'll be honest, because like that seems to be the hardest part for me when I'm working a job, is just getting a project across the finish line. It always is difficult for me. So the fact that you guys got that with, by the sound of it, multiple projects is awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. Anyways. Yeah, we need to figure out when to disable gravity and when to allow it. But what I'm thinking is the minute he touches the map, gravity should just be disabled for him. I think that's how we're going to do this. I think this is going to work. So we're going to say if blocked.none, if not blocked.none rather, we're going to say if not blocked.none, then this body set allow gravity false. You're making a lot of progress on the project. Good job. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, we've got some pretty cool stuff now. I'll give you a tour of the project since it's been a while. Yeah, as you can see, we can run around and aim at the mouse. These controls also work on touchscreen devices, so you can create an angle with your thumb between the character and the mouse, and you can shoot. We've got a particle system that emits particles from the tip of our gun, and we've got these enemies that jump around, and our current gun is kind of like a shrink ray, so it makes them smaller, and then eventually once they get to a certain size it kills them and they fall off the map. And same thing with this one that jumped into the cave. We can just bloop, 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 and then he's gone. And yeah, we did have a working hit point system working too, where you would lose health when they jumped on you, but that's something we introduced broke that, so it's not really working at the moment, but yeah, everything else is working, which is cool. Yeah, thanks, man. So yeah, now we're just creating a second type of enemy, another mini robot for us to fight. Because there's going to be the mini robots, and then there's going to be the huge robots, and the huge robots are going to be kind of like bosses, I suppose. But these are going to be, the little robots will be scattered all over the map. So yeah, that's the state of things. So that's just... Right, okay, that's because we're setting... So I think what we need is... Actually, I've got an idea. What if we have Yeah, what if in here we don't start moving until we're blocked by something? That makes sense. So we can move this logic down to the bottom. Right there. So now if he's blocked by anything, so if he touches the ground, if he touches a wall on the left, if he touches a wall on the right, or if he touches the roof, we're going to disable gravity for him, and we're going to start moving him. Let's see what this does. So he's falling, good. He starts moving towards us, good. And now he gets stuck on the wall, so that's not quite right. But we'll figure it out. We always do. So block.right was true for one frame, and then it went back to false. So you know what I'm going to do is, to make our lives a little bit easier, I'm going to say blocked.true or right and blocked.down, just to see if it's ever entering this condition at all. Right now it's false. Does it stay false? Yes, it does. So it never enters that condition, which is curious, because block.right goes to true for a minute, but I guess block.down must be false. Let's have a look at block.down now. Let's see. Oh, right, sorry, I was looking at it there. So block.down is also true for 1 second, and then it seems to be false. So I guess we can't really rely on that to check if he's constantly touching the ground or not. We can, I bet you the minute it's true is the minute he lands. So false, 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 false. Yeah, true right when he landed. So we're gonna have to figure out a way of either simulating that to be true, or, okay, I'm gonna rip out this logic for like that 20,000th time, and we're going to try something a little different. We're going to say if blocked.down, we're going to say this dot bot, or not, we've got variables for this now, so we'll say this dot yvel equals positive this dot speed. Kind of makes sense. So if blocks.down and not blocked.right, see if it'll keep, if it keeps blocked to true, then that's what we want, but it's not moving now. Oh, right, because we haven't set the x velocity, so we need to do that. So x velocity equals also this dot speed. But you know what? I'm already thinking this isn't going to work. My stream chat's not working on my dashboard. That's weird. I'm wondering if Phaser can be implemented on a React Native application. You know, I don't know. I've never tried that, man. You might be able to. It would probably result in a pretty big JavaScript file, but if you're cool with that and your app allows for that, then yeah, give it a try. The only thing I'm wondering that might be tricky with React Native is I'm sure the native operating systems have their own version of like a canvas element, right? Because that's the thing that Phaser relies on, is the canvas element. So yeah, you might run into a little bit of trouble there. I don't know, but give it a shot. Okay, so this is very, very annoying. Oh, it was true for quite a long time though. That's interesting. So let's just watch it one more time. Let's say, so it's false. It was true for a second. Now it's false again. All right, let's look at two things. Let's look at blocked, and I know I've looked at this in the past, but it must have some purpose, right? Like, they wouldn't make touching if it wasn't there for a reason. So let's see what it does. Wow, that's cool. It just shows us everything. Huh. But it says it's not touching it or blocking anything right now. So that's deeply, deeply confusing to me. I wonder if it's because we've disabled gravity that it's not blocking from the bottom anymore. Let's just look at blocked.down again with the set allow gravity false disabled. Yes, there we go. So with gravity enabled, it is in fact remaining true. Ah, that's annoying, because we kind of need to disable gravity on him. Okay. Alrighty. Let's just try setting it right away to speed and speed, and still keeping that where we disable gravity. Let's see what this does. There we go. So now we're moving. Of course, that's not going to do anything, but let's take a look at blocked.right now to see if it ever triggers being blocked from the right side. So we're false now, that's good. Still false, good. No, it does not. Ah, come on, I need this to work. This is how we're gonna build this guy. So apparently disabling gravity also disables the blocked property. Let's see, if we remove, like, comment that out and just see what this does. I bet you it's going to show true for a second. Yeah, now it's just oscillating between true and false. What I want to work, Emmanuebs, is I want it to be... I want to disable gravity on this guy, because ultimately what I want this character to do is roll around and, like, if he's touching the ground, stick to the ground. If he's touching a wall, climb up the wall. If he's touching the ground again, stick to the ground. If he's touching the ceiling, stick to the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? So I just want him to, like, climb around the map, basically. That's the goal. So I guess we have to do this with gravity enabled somehow. Or, again, disable it only at certain moments. Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, cool. I want him to be like a climbing robot. That's the goal here. So, alright. I still think that this blocks.none... Okay, so block.none must be where we store the x velocity, because the minute we turn off gravity, the y velocity or the blocked properties are all going to return false the minute we disable gravity. So if, let's see, if blocked dot up, I feel like I've done this before, but we'll just try it again. Let's see, block dot down. So if he's touching if he hits the roof or hits the ceiling, set his x velocity. Otherwise, not even otherwise. We want just another if, I guess, because both will be true, really. Let's see, Emmanuel, you said if the robot is blocked, it will set the velocity y and... it's too small for me to read. One sec. My stream chat isn't working on my dashboard. Oh, you know what? I could probably just reload it. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties on my Twitch dashboard. And of course, it's not going to show it. Okay. Let's see. So if the robot is blocked, it will set the Y. Hey, Point Blank Ted, what's up? Yeah, see, Point Blank Ted, I thought the touching property would work too, but it doesn't. It always seems to be returning. Oh, but you know what? I was disabling gravity when I was testing that. So yeah, one sec. Let's test the touching property again. That's a good idea. It will set, but anyways, Emmanuel, you said if the robot is blocked, it will set the velocity x and remove velocity y and remove the velocity x and vice versa. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's take a look at touching again though, with gravity enabled. Not roaching. Roaching? What is roaching? Touching. Yeah, thanks, Point Blank Ted. I've tried this before, but touching always seems to give me issues. Yeah, see, touching is just always returning touching none as true. So I don't know if it's actually working as intended or like if I'm just using it wrong, but like let's watch touching.none just to make it a little bit more easy to see. So true, it's not touching anything, true. But now in my mind it should be touching something false, right? It should be touching something. Which is, yeah, what I don't understand. That's why I thought touching would be the solution, but do you have to, like, enable it somehow, Point Blank Ted? Do you know? I'm just going to do a quick search and see if anyone else has had this issue. Yeah, this guy just says using blocked. Oh, nice. Got a link. And also my stream chat decided to start working on my dashboard, so that's good. Let's take a look at your link, Mr. Ted. Overlap collider, interesting. What does, is it just, oh. I see what it's doing. Okay, so it, So we have to add an overlap between it and the map? Looks like you have to set overlap if you're not already. Yeah, interesting. I think we're probably not. We're setting a collider. Where are we setting that? We're setting that in level, I do believe. Yeah, so we're setting a collider between the physics group of enemies and the solid layer in our map, just like we're setting a collider between the MC Africa and the enemies. But do we have to set an overlap as well? Add overlap? Yeah, let's try it. Thing is, we're working with groups instead of individual sprites, but in theory it should be the same, I would think. Overlap, overlappy? Overlap. This dot enemies, and this dot solid layer. Now let's save that and keep looking at the touching and see if touching is any different now. So it's not touching. Yeah, still not touching. It would be false. Yeah, I'm really not sure on this one. Well, I'm not sure why it's not behaving the way we would expect it to. Yeah, I know. Exactly. That's my thoughts. My thoughts exactly, point blank, Ted. I don't know. Leave that commented just in case it helps us in the future, but like blocked does work, but it only works when gravity is enabled. But we need to disable gravity for this character, or I suppose another option would be we could fight gravity by setting the Y velocity to be exactly our speed plus the gravity constant, I suppose. I don't know, but the point is blocked seems to be disabled when gravity is disabled. Or actually we'll keep that, but we'll say blocked. So let's see, like with gravity enabled, should be fine. Blocked true, now it's false. So it is blocked by the bottom. And if we say blocked dot, or I think it's blocked dot down. False, so it's not blocked down, now it is blocked down. So that makes sense. Shoot it, now it's false again. This might take up a bit more of the stream than I was thinking. I was hoping this would go really quick and we could move on to something else, but that's okay, these things happen. So if he's blocked down, we can start his movement on the x-axis by setting velocity x to this dot speed. But we need to set it on the body, not just him. So body. So this will get him moving to the right the minute he touches the ground. That works. Good. And he is still moving directly into the wall, so that... Let's take a look at if he's blocked from the right now. So it bounces between true and false, which is weird, but yeah, actually that's problematic that it bounces between true and false, because we kind of need that to be true all the time, right? Like if he's touching the wall to the right, we want it to be true. We don't want it to ever bounce back to false if he is still touching the wall. Hey, yee. So because if we disable gravity and say, if we disable gravity the minute he touches the right wall to enable him to climb up, we're not going to be able to stop him from... Hang on, I want to try and position him, make his initial position a little different here. So in the Africa camp, we're adding rotator bot at x300, y100. Okay, let's go like just this so we can find out what y position we want. mc.y, I think? Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's find out what y position we want. Okay, so on the ground down here it's 1270. So we want about 1100 for the y position. Cool. So let's set that. Let's say y is 1100, and this should initialize him now in the cave. And actually, let's do the same with our good guy. We'll say, where is he? In here. X, that's fine, but y can also be 1100, so we should spawn in the cave. There we go. And let's have him move automatically to the left. So negative this dot speed. Cool. Get out of here. Get gone. Get. So if he's blocked to the left, we'll say this dot body dot set allow gravity false, and we'll say this dot body dot set velocity y to negative this dot speed. See what this does. This should have him climbing up the wall at least. Get, I said. Okay, so that's got him climbing up the wall. What happens when he gets to the top? Does he just go through the ceiling, or does he stop? Okay, he stops. So that's good. See block dot left. Hey JL, how's it going? We're still fighting with this this damn climbing bot. It's not really cooperating with us right now. But you know what I am gonna do just to make him look a little cooler? So we're gonna say this dot body dot, or I think it's just this dot set rotation to this dot speed. See if that does the trick. Oh cool, new things. Yeah, man. Oh, right, we need we'll say this dot rotation plus this dot speed. Let's try that. There we go. Maybe divide speed in half. There we go. Got a bug. Okay, so he's climbing the wall. Get out of here, jumpy bot. So he's climbing, and he gets to the roof. I want to take a look at blocks.up to see if it ever... I think it's always going to be false. I don't think it's going to go true, which is kind of a problem for us. Let's see. Oh, it was true for a second. Hey, that's actually great news. It was true for a second, even though we disabled gravity. So my theory was false. My theory was wrong about... Yeah, my theory was totally wrong. Awesome. Okay, that's great news. So we might be able to get away with some stuff now. So if blocks.none is false, so if not, blocks.none, disable the gravity. So that should disable the gravity the minute he touches the ground. Boom. Good. Now will this get him climbing? Yeah, he's still climbing. Okay. I'm happy I'm wrong. Yes, I am actually. It's good news, believe it or not. The fact that we had that one little true right here show up is good news. All right. So if he's blocked down, set his x velocity. If he's blocked up, okay, actually, you know what? Let's figure this out. Let's say if he's blocked down, set his x velocity. If he's blocked to the left, actually, we could say yeah, hold on, blocked left and blocked down. This dot set velocity y, negative this dot speed. I think that's how we had it. A little different, but almost how we had it. And then we'll say else if blocks dot left and blocks dot up. Ah, but no, this is, oh man, this is so tricky. Why is this so hard? I think this'll work, but this is only gonna work for our like little test case right here. I don't think this is gonna work in the real world. We need to be able to figure out like when to make him go up, when to make him go down, when to make him... Yeah, okay, let's try this. Stop coming in our cave, go away. We're testing important things in here. Oh, now that's not working at all. I'm wondering if we could accomplish what we want by having flags, perhaps. as in saying, like, setting, like, having a bunch of variables to say whether he's touching. Yeah, so pains me how many times I've had to delete that code and just restart now. It's getting kind of old. So we'll say, let's make some new variables. Let's say this dot on ground equals false. This dot on ceiling equals false. This dot on wall equals false. And I think it shouldn't matter if it's on the left or right wall. I could be wrong, but it might not matter. So if block.none, so okay, so right at the start, we're gonna have a bunch of things checking for blocked constantly. So we're gonna say, I guess it would be in this if statement, would make sense to put it in here. So we'll say if blocked dot up, this dot on ceiling, or even better, we can just say this dot on ceiling equals blocked dot up. But then this is going to update the. I don't know that this is what we want. Yeah, I think this is not what we want. We want. Let's just try it. This dot on ground equals blocked dot down. This dot on wall equals blocked dot left or blocked dot right. And actually, I'm gonna. Well, no. We don't really want gravity to ever affect this guy once he touches the ground for the first time, so that I think is good. But what we do want is when he's on the ceiling, okay, you know what we do need is, oh man, but that's going to be even harder too. I'm just realizing this is tough logic, actually, getting him to follow the character in 2 dimensions, but like restricted to touching walls. God, the logic for this enemy is much harder than I was thinking it would be to work out. I thought this would be like a cakewalk. How very wrong I was. So if he's on the ceiling or if he's on the ground, set velocity this dot body dot set. You need the idea of current direction and then turning when you hit something. Right, yes, that could work. Yeah, point blank Ted. 3,000 points, sir. Thank you. I'm gonna try and find a funny emoji for that. That's how I feel about that. That's a great idea. You should really only make 1 turn per collision. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's rip out the logic we have now and implement that. Thank you, good sir. You're totally right. So we want this dot direction equals, we'll set it to null initially. And then we'll say if blocked dot down, so when he first touches the ground, we'll say this dot direction equals, let's just say, L. We probably should do this with numbers, but to make it a little more efficient, but a string might do the trick, just to be more descriptive. So if he's down, we'll set, if he's blocked down, we'll set the direction to, no, hold on. First of all, first things first, we'll disable gravity when he touches the ground. That was solid. I think that has to stay. So if not blocked dot none, set allow, or set this dot body as always dot set allow gravity false. So disable gravity when he touches the ground. We've established that. Disable gravity on touchdown. So we'll say, okay, actually I want to test one thing real quick here. This dot body dot set velocity x to negative this dot speed, and I want to watch all the block properties at once. I want to see, or actually no, not all of them. I just want to watch blocks dot down, blocks dot left. Let's see what both of these say. So false, false, false. Block dot down was true for a second. Blocks dot, so oh wait, but you know what, you're right, we can use that direction to tell us what direction we're already going in, so we don't, yes, so if this dot direction equals null, which is to say it hasn't been initialized yet, then we'll say if blocked dot down, this dot direction equals, let's say, L for left. If blocked dot up, why don't we just, I'm still confused. I think you're very much, your idea is like very much on the right track, point blank, Ted. I think this is what we have to do, but I'm just derping left, right, and center right now. Okay, so okay, well, we need to initialize it at some point to something. So let's just start it give it a starting direction, so there's never a null state. So it's all just defaults to going left for now, sure. And then we'll say if this dot, or not this dot, or yes, let's say this dot direction equals L, we'll say, yeah, that's where we can keep all of our velocity logic. So we'll say this dot body dot set velocity y to 0. Actually, this could be a switch statement. Let's do that. That's always exciting. Switch this dot direction. Case L. Break, and we'll move this into there. And we'll say case right will effectively be the same thing, but one change. We're going to move in the positive speed direction instead of negative. And we'll say up makes the negative, oopsies, y velocity set to negative this dot speed, and x velocity set to 0. And down is set x y velocity to this dot speed and x velocity to 0. So that's our switch statement for moving him in a direction. So let's see if it works. So the only problem is it appears he has no because we're setting his y velocity to 0 constantly. So maybe we have to move this. Oh no, but then we can't always rely on that, so... This idea might only work in caves. Right, yeah. But still, it is still better than the rabbit hole I was going down, so I'm gonna pursue your idea. I think your idea is pretty golden. So, okay. We need to check if, well, let's just, oh, okay, you know what? This is a good case for having no direction at the start. So switch, and then our default will just be nothing. So if it's null, nothing happens. But if he touches the ground, we'll say this dot direction equals L. Just set it to left to begin with. So he falls, starts moving left. Go away. And we don't have any conditions yet telling him to switch direction, so this all makes sense so far. So now we need to say change direction based on current direction plus blocked states. So we can say or what if we do that up here? Because block.none should in theory be false when it should enter this statement when he's blocked by any wall. So we'll say initialize it to left, but, or well, actually, we'll say if this dot direction equals null, this is where we initialize the direction to something, equals, so left to initialize. And then we'll say else if, so if the direction isn't null, if it's already set, then we enter this condition. We'll say if this dot direction equals L, so if he's moving left and he touches a wall, yeah. I see what you're saying, how this might only work in caves, but that's okay. Well, yeah. So if the direction is left and blocks dot let's just see what happens here. It's almost like we have to detect the corners. I wonder if we can do that somehow. Anyways, let's just keep working on this and see if we get anywhere. So this else if this dot direction equals, so if he's moving left and he's blocked to the left. Oh, hold on. Now I'm seeing, maybe I'm seeing a little pattern here. Whatever, we'll just keep coding it like this for now. We'll say this dot direction equals up. Right? Yeah, so else if this dot direction equals right, and blocked dot right, this dot direction equals up. Wait, no. We gotta go even deeper than this. We gotta say, if the direction is left, if this dot blocked, or not this dot, damn it, blocked dot left, no, sorry, hold on. Man, I'm just working through this in my head and it's driving me crazy now. We have to get this working now. Now it's like a thing. Blocked dot, yeah. So blocked dot left. So if he's moving left and he's blocked dot left, then let's just do this. Console.log, blocked.down, blocked.up. I just want to see if these are going to be reliable for us. Okay, so he touches the wall. They're both false. Which is irritating because I was really hoping that down would be true. But the idea of setting a direction, I think, makes sense. But we do need to know what if we had two directions? Okay, hold on. Maybe keep track of your most recent up-down and toggle every time, same with left-right. Yes, that's exactly what I was just thinking. I was thinking if we kept track of both directions on the X and Y axis. Yes. You and I think alike, good sir. I'm gonna comment this out because this was close, but okay, so God damn it. Here we go. You know, I'm just going to use strings to be even more, like, specific, just so we can know exactly what we're talking about. So let's initialize that to down, and we'll say this dot direction LR equals left. So actually we can uncomment this and just make it split it up. So we'll cut these out. And we'll say direction LR, left, right. And we're not going to set those. We have another switch statement for direction UD, up, down. When it's moving up, we set the y velocity to negative speed, and when it's moving down, we set the y velocity to positive speed. Because then he'll just be pushing into the wall, right, in theory? So, yeah. I just want to keep watch on one of the blocked properties here while we're doing this. So, yeah, it's a little funky. Okay. Oh, right, because... Right, so we gotta initialize these to null, just for the initial fall to the earth. So null, null. And then in here, we'll say this dot, or, yeah, let's say if block dot none and this dot direction LR equals null and this dot direction UD, oopsies. It's maybe a little overly verbose, but I'd rather be more specific than less specific. Use exclamation mark? Use not? For which one? Which part? What did I miss? I think that's right, right? So now we just need kind of like like this array of if statements, I think. So we want to say if this dot direction LR equals left. So if he's moving left and he's moving down, that is to say he's stuck to the ground, this dot no, that's we do want it to check if it's equal to null, because this is where we're just like initializing the direction it's moving and disabling the gravity. So it should only ever enter this statement once, is the idea there, JL. At least that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. But if you're seeing something I'm not, let me know and I'll fix it up. But anyways, so this dot direction LR equals left, and this dot direction UD equals down. So if he's moving left and down, if he ever gets blocked to the left, I guess blocked to the left or the right, really, or this dot, or not this dot, blocked dot right, then his direction UD, or direction UD, equals up. Now he's climbing. So now his direction is up, and his direction is, so it's still left and up. Or actually, why don't we say, I don't know if this is ever going to enter this state just because of how the blocked properties don't seem to be super reliable for us, but if it's blocked down, or no, we don't need to check that because we're checking if his direction is down. So yeah. So actually, we don't even really need to check the left at all. We can just say if he's moving down and he gets blocked to the left or right. So we could even take this one step further and say, and either of those. Then we'll say, so if he's moving down and he gets blocked to the left or right, start moving up. And then we'll say if this dot direction UD equals up. I guess this could be an else if. Maybe that's what we want. Else if up and blocked dot so if he's moving up and he's blocked, oh my god, I just can't logic this out. So if his direction is up and he's blocked, is that what we want to be checking? So if his direction is up and he's blocked up, what? No, that doesn't help us really. Oh, wait, yes. So we do want to keep the same condition, I guess. But I feel like this is just going to right now get him stuck in a loop of going up and down the wall. Will blocked left and right even trigger when you're going up, down? I think so, because I think we're still setting the x velocity, point blank Ted. I think. I could be very wrong, but I think. So if his direction is up and he hits a wall, then we want it to switch and say direction UD is down, right? Up is down. So hold on, let's see this. I have a sneaking suspicion he might get stuck going up and down the wall here, but let's just see what happens. Okay, so he's not even going up and down the wall, he's just kind of going up and down. Yeah. And again, it's inconsistent because those blocked properties just aren't like working really super for us, or I'm using them wrong or something, but for some reason they're not really giving us what we want in every case. What do you think, guys? Should we keep working on this guy, or should we just simplify him and have him like move around between? I don't want to do that though. I don't want to compromise. I really want this game to be like everything that we set out to make it, if that makes sense. I just have to go unlock my door so my buddy can get in. I'll be 1 second. X-Killer Knight. Yo, what's up, dude? You're saying, can you make his movement clockwise or counterclockwise with collision? Yeah, definitely. We can do that. But we're just trying to get the directional system working first, so that like he climbs the appropriate walls and edges of the map. That's really what we want right now, but it's proving to be really difficult. All right. But we will X Killer Knight. We will add that in at the end. Your idea of turning is more like go left until you hit something, then turn up/down. Okay. So go left. Okay, so go left until you hit something, then turn up/down. Okay, so if so we initialize it to going left down, then we'll say if this dot direction LR equals left. So if he's moving left, and we'll say if blocks.right or blocks.left. So if he touches a wall when he's going left, actually it would only ever be block.right in this case. So if he gets blocked to the right, so if he's moving left and blocks right, am I along the right train of track here, point blank Ted? If direction LR is left and he gets blocked to the right, then this dot direction UD equals up. Moving left and blocked right confuses me. It confuses me too, man. I'm totally at a loss right now. So yeah, let's just change it. So I assume block was always about the collision about to happen. Yeah, it seems funny. It seems like to be true for a second when we hit something, and then it goes back to false afterwards. It's boggling my mind right now. I had kind of a... This might be nothing, but I have a sort of half-baked idea here. So we'll say if blocks.none, so if he touches anything, like any wall, if it's ever not blocked, we'll say, no, that, I don't think this makes sense. I'm revisiting the idea in my head now of what if we have some kind of system for detecting corners somehow? Pick one direction at a time. So not setting two directions. There's no direction up, down. There's no direction left, right. There's just a direction. Right, okay. So either left or down, not both. Right, okay. So yeah, let's backtrack a little bit and set that logic up. Okay, yeah, I think you're right. That's kind of taking us a little off the rails here. So direction starts as null. Then on touchdown, so when blocked is none and this dot direction equals null. So on our initial touchdown, we'll set the direction to left. Then we'll have a switch. I've written the switch statement a few times now, but whatever. This dot direction. But keep track of your last up down so you can toggle. Ah. Right, yeah. So we could say this dot going up maybe equals false because it starts going down. Okay, hold on. Let's just get this switch statement out of the way first. So case left break, and we'll say this dot body dot set velocity x is negative this dot speed, and then we'll say this dot body dot set velocity y as 0 for now. Then right will just be positive on the x velocity. Up will be 0 for x velocity, and negative this dot speed for y velocity, and down will be just the opposite. Say 0 here, and this dot speed for there. Righto. 3 a.m. here. We'll like to stay more, but I am dead. Good night. Have fun. Thanks, man. Catch you on the flip side. Thanks for coming out, buddy. Have a good sleep. Okay, so that should move us in the direction. This will just move us left for now. Right, and it'll crash into the wall and just keep moving left. Okay. Track of your last up down so you can toggle. Right, okay. So now if you're blocked left right, change the direction to up down and vice versa. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. So blocked left or blocked right, then we can say this dot going up equals negative this dot going up to toggle it. Or maybe I should change this to... Oh, hold on, no, the direction, not the going up. Let's say, so direction. Okay, I think I've got an idea here. Let's change this to was, oopsies, was going up. So this dot was going up. So if it's true, if we were going up, go down, down. Or if we weren't, if we were going, so if we were going up, go down. And if we weren't going up, go up, right? right, down. Nice. Oh man, I'm losing it. I'm losing the plot. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. Would we almost need to track if they were going left or right as well? Like, we would say this dot was going left equals true to initialize it. Maybe let's say was going right just to keep it all consistent. But so if they were going right, go left. So this dot was going right. So if it was going right, go left. Otherwise, go right. Yeah, left, right also. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see what this does. My phone thinks I'm talking to it, but let's see. Alright. I am going to have to cut this stream at midnight, by the way, guys. I should mention that now. Oh, hello. Now he's moving towards us. Let's have a look from the start. So he falls, touches down. Oh, that's because we're... Do I have that around the wrong way? Was going right. False, so he should be going left. Oh, yeah, but then we're toggling it here the minute we get blocked down, I guess. Yeah, to toggle it. Okay, so just set it to true, basically, to make things life easier. There we go. Now he's going left. Now he's going up. Ah, is it gonna work? And he's only going up too. You can tell by his line. He's not like digging into the wall. He's just going straight up and ignoring gravity, which is good. Now he's freaking out, trying to go... Okay. He's trying to go left. And then up, and then left, then up, then left, then up. So what's going on here? You need the... Yeah. Right. So, like, I guess here, right? But then wouldn't this make him go right? Yeah. So, okay, hold on. Let's swap this around, try this out. Okay, so now he's going up. Same shit. After the value of was going. After the value of was going. Oh, right, to switch it around. Right. Right? Yeah. Sorry. It's getting that time. I'm at that tired level now. I'm not tired, but this is just boggling my mind. It's all blowing my mind. Okay, was going right equals not was going right. Yeah. Sorry, man, that was a full-on dirt fest right there. Okay, let's... Or would it be before, I think, maybe. You work best at this time of night? Nice. You know, normally I do, but like this just... Every now and then I'll just get stuck on a bug and it's just like, it'll drive me insane and I just won't be able to figure it out for like ages, but... This is still... Now he's just bouncing off the wall, so... Was that around the right way before, maybe? Like, maybe we should be setting the direction, then resetting the... Yeah, let's try that. What time is it for you, Point Blank Head? Like right now? 'Cause for me, it's almost midnight, but are you in the same time zone or like different, or what's the deal? Music's so dramatic for this moment. Oh! There we go. He hit the wall and he's climbing up. Good. Good first step. Let's keep that going, and hopefully he turns and goes along the ceiling and then down and around and falls off or something. Yeah! He climbed the ceiling! Okay, it's 11:18 for you. Cool, man. Get this guy out of here, but I don't want to shoot our robot guy while we're testing him. Get out of here. Okay. Okay, what does he do when he hits this wall? Yes! Point Blank Head, you are a genius, sir. Okay, and now he's just falling down, but that's because we got to an edge that didn't have a... Interesting. Okay, so... So will he just loop around like that now? I suppose, hey? Cool. Neato. But yeah, so that's the problem now, is like, probably only works in caves. Outside will probably require getting touching working. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, just for our viewing pleasure, why don't we get the rotation working, so that it rotates in the direction that he's going. I don't know. I just don't have any idea how we're going to tackle this. That's the thing. Looks cool, though. It does. You're right. This is true. It's much better than it was, like, a couple hours, like 10 minutes ago. So that's a plus. Yeah, I'm gonna... Why not? Let's get the rotation working cool so that it's like... yeah, so we'll say... this dot direction there's probably a better way of doing this, but or yeah, why don't we tap into its velocity, not its speed. So, what is that? Yeah, let's see what's going on in his body. In the future, we should definitely make it so that the enemies interact with other enemies too. So like these two jumping around in here, if they hit this guy, they would blow themselves up. That'd be cool. That's in the future though, that's not tonight. I'm wondering if we could leverage hit tests somehow with this, which is kind of like what overlaps are supposed to be, but I never seem to be able to get them working either. Yeah, I think this is going to require a little bit more pondering on my part, or on whoever's part. I mean, point blank, Ted, this is basically your brainchild right here, so thank you for that, sir. I bet he'll just keep working, even though that I've shot him. Oh no, he goes off the map now. Oh, whatever. I'm just like now wondering if perhaps we could do something using gravity to like constantly be pushing him in the opposite direction of, like, if he's not blocked from the top, then push him down. If he's blocked, no, I don't know. Anyway. Go shoot some robots. That'll make me feel better about this whole mess. Boosh. And all the other ones have already been shot or jumped off the edge to their own demise. All right. Well, you guys, you know what? It's a little bit early, but I think I might be calling this one there tonight. I thank all of you who tuned in, and I apologize that we couldn't get that working sooner. I was really hoping we'd get that this stream, but I mean, what we have is definitely a big improvement. He works when he's contained inside of a cave, which is cool. Good stopping point. Yeah, exactly. Point blank, Ted. You got it. So, yeah, so for those of you who joined us in this stream, thank you very much. Huge 120,000% extra shout out to Point Blank Ted for pretty much like figuring out a solution for this. I guess you can't see it now. Hold on. For this robot to get him working. Shoot this one, get him out of here, because he's not relevant right now. Not the jumping one. Oh shit. Well, I shot the one I was trying to show you guys. But anyways, point is, thank you very much, Point Blank Ted. That was a huge help, and you totally nailed the logic for that. Also, thank you to Xkiller Knight and to JL and to who else? Some other people in here, I know. Oh, Emmanuebs, and I think there might have been someone else. But anyways, thank you all who engaged and joined in on the chat. It makes a world of difference on all the streams. If you want to check out this stream or later streams, yeah, good night, JL. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to check out this stream or previous streams, they're all available on YouTube. I feel like I should plug other stuff, but I don't know what to do with any of that. Social media is not really my jam. So anyways, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you next stream. We'll be broadcasting live 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday to Friday. So tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Come join us. It'll be fun. And we'll hopefully get some more enemy logic working. I'm going to sit and ponder this for a little while so I can hopefully have a good solution for us next time around. So thank you all, and see you on the flip side. Peace.